Reserve time.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 8, Day 4, Game 2 of 5 today. We've got Team Empire now facing off against Next League, aka Next.KZ. Again, I do apologize for the small bout of technical issues we had during the last match. I think they have since been resolved. We're not dropping frames. We finally got Skype back, and I think we're good to go. I'm Zyori. With me once again is Merlini, and now coming in loud and clear. Merlini, my friend, how are you coming into Game 2?
10 seconds remaining.
Good. I caught the tail end of that, but good. Give me another sound check. Make sure we're not
remaining.
in robot
Testing.
mode. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, sigh relief. So, Next League, Game 1 looked very, very good over Flipside. We were a little skeptical about their draft, but in the end, they were able to make it happen. And that Lone Druid, despite our initial predictions, did quite well against that Lifestealer in the end. So, coming into this game, any thoughts of what they're going to have in their path here on the way to victory up against Team Empire?
I think Next.KZ is going to have a much more difficult time against Empire than Flipside, just because they had so many mistakes in their early game, and Flipside didn't really capitalize on them. Puck got an early blink, but Storm Spirit still got back in the game somehow, was able to farm his BKB, as well as get a lot of early kills. Lifestealer had a super early Midas, but didn't really do anything all game, and they had First Blood on the Lone Druid, but they also didn't keep him down too. I think that if Next.KZ gets that off to a really poor start versus Empire, Empire is just going to run away with it. So I think Next.KZ has to just predict the early game a little bit better. They need to figure out what exactly is going to go on in the off lane and make sure that they don't let their solo lane die, and make sure they let both solo laners die last game. So I don't know.
Yeah, that initial rotation, they had a tri-lane with the Lone Druid, and then basically as the creeps got into the lane, they rotated the tri-lane top, and Lone Druid was left all alone for a very quick First Blood. So I think you're exactly right. You have to tighten up a little bit here against Empire if they want to be able to take this match home. Draft well underway, though. Team Empire going to take out Timbersaw as well as Outworld Devourer. Going to ban out some of those mid-heroes there against the mighty Whatafaka. Next League going to have some similar bans as they did last game. Pugna as well as the Lich going to be taken off the field. Again, we're going to see Pugna banned out here. These CIS teams have little interest, it seems, in dealing with the pushing power that is the mighty Pugna. Elder Titan will be first picked by Team Empire. Visage Clockwork, the first two for Next League. Just like last game, no big surprise there to see Visage and Clockwork in the early picks. But
such a fast ban by Empire. They know what Next.KZ likes to play. I'm surprised that they picked up Bane. Bane's like so-so versus Clockwork, but it is pretty good versus Visage. You can just brain 7 and get a free 100 gold easy.
So yeah, you're exactly right though. Empire banning out those mid heroes, Storm Spirit and Puck. They do not want to deal with that Whatafaka in the mid lane. Venomancer are going to make it into the 3rd/4th pick arena here. We'll see if Next League want to grab him with their 3rd pick. My question, though, is what's left in the pool for Whatafaka? What is he going to take mid here?
10 seconds.
I'm not sure. I can try and check out his...
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see. Storm, OD, DK, he played one game.
Time.
OD, Storm, and I believe Batrider. So it could be Batrider, it could be DK. Looks like his hero pool is a little bit larger than I initially suspected. But they're taking quite a bit of time, already dipping into reserve time. Yeah, there is still Crystal Maiden, there is still Venomancer. Those are rated pretty highly. Looks like Next.KZ going with the Mirana. There is still a Lifestealer too. If Empire wants to do that, they could also go minus armor strategy with Elder Titan. Elder Titan just opens up so many options.
Yep. And of course, Lifestealer is still in the pool, a very sought-after pick that has been banned out a little bit less frequently and is picked up quite often. And yet again, in true fashion, Viper banned out here. So Mirana, Clockwork, and Visage for Next.
They have a Viper truce.
Yeah,
it's like,
Viper truce.
don't pick him in the first phase, and don't ban him in the first phase, but we'll always ban him in the second. That's what it seems to be.
If we went back to the data, I think we've seen that in like probably something like 85% of the matches we've casted. There may have been like a second ban Viper in one of those games or something, but yeah, it's kind of weird how that works out. He's always in that same cluster. But yeah, this draft was going quickly. Now I'm going to slow down a little bit. Both sides will break into their bonus time for the second picking phase. Empire really have a lot of options here, though. Bane and Elder Titan are just so open-ended. You can make them work well in an array of kind of different rosters. So they want to go more push-oriented. But they're going to grab the Naga, so it looks like they could be lining up for maybe some Wombo combo action. The Song of the Siren with some Earth Splitter. Already some nice synergy there. Maybe a Gyrocopter in their future.
minus armor with Shadow Fiend. I would like to see that too.
Ooh. Yeah, that could be could be scary. Yeah, Shadow
Yep.
Fiend does pair nicely with the Elder Titan for sure.
To be determined if it's going to be a support Naga Siren or a carry Naga Siren, but
10
I guess it's good
seconds
for
remaining.
Empire. They can
Mm.
pick and ban based around what next
5
KZ
seconds
You may want to
remaining.
double
deals
check
with.
your in game again.
All
Don't know
right.
if settings got screwed up from
It's
that
still
last
on.
match. Okay.
It says it's on.
All right. People in chat are hypochondriacs, and I don't know.
Dire
We'll
team
see.
pick.
So there it is. Wow, Shadow Fiend going to be that fourth pick for Team Empire. We
Radiant
can see
team
that
back.
synergy lineup pretty clearly across the minus armor and also the Song of the Siren to line up that Earth Splitter, followed by a Requiem of Souls, maybe a couple nice Shadow Raises, a few auto attacks to finish them off. I like the lineup here from Team Empire. Alchemist, that fourth pick for next league. Again, very
10 seconds
powerful
remaining.
heroes individually, but I don't see that same level of team synergy that I think Empire has.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
think that next KZ had really good picks though, picking the Mirana so that they didn't get an easy Bane bottom lane, and picking the Alchemist too. Naga Siren and Alchemist is pretty ridiculous. You just do so much damage with that unstable concoction. So next KZ, they like kind of denied pick, but at the same time, are they going to make their lineup work out really well? I'm not too sure about it. We'll see how it works out for them.
Yep, going to move into those final bans, and again, we'll see next league break into that Bitter Reserve time. I still think it's going to be a Gyrocopter ban here. That's my best guess. He would just work so well with this roster, and no, they're going to ban out the Doom. Interesting.
Dire team ban.
Huh, maybe a Lifestealer final pick here for Next.KZ, perhaps? Well, they have the Alchemist. It depends how they want to run that Alchemist. I was assuming it was a support, but...
He's gonna get destroyed in solo mid by Shadow Fiend though, so
Yeah.
I think they have to put Alchemist in the safe
10
lane
seconds remaining.
or in an offensive tri lane. I think they had to put him in the tri lane.
Yeah,
and
actually, I take
then-
that back. That was a silly thing to say. They really need a
Radiant
mid-hero here.
team
For some reason in my head, I was thinking Mirana could go mid, but that's not going to work out against the Shadow Fiend all too well, so... TA
Yeah.
going to be the fifth ban from Team Empire. Makes a little bit more sense. All mid-hero bans from Empire. You can tell who they're afraid of here in this matchup.
Yeah, I think that Wadafaka is a really important player in their team, though. Like, even though he was underfarmed at Storm, he was still able to make things happen and make Flipside feel very, very scared around the map, and was still able to pick off a Lifestealer who was like maybe double his net worth at the time. So I think it is very important to killing killing Wadafaka. Ooh, Invoker mid. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Shadow Fiend still has the upper hand in that matchup, especially level 5 and beyond, but it's not a terrible matchup for Invoker.
Yeah, it could certainly be worse. I'm trying to think if I've seen Wadafaka play Invoker. As you mentioned, he is definitely one player that has a large pool of heroes that he's comfortable with. But I don't think Invoker is one that he plays all too frequently. I probably would have expected a Bat Rider
10
before the Invoker,
seconds
so this should be
remaining.
interesting as well. I'll be curious to see what build he goes for. And there it is. Pat myself on the back a little bit. Gyrocopter going to be that final pick. This Team Empire lineup, man, this is a scary, scary roster.
Yeah, I would have liked the Lifestealer, I think. I think they can put a lot of pressure on the Alchemist and offensive tri-lane him. Alchemist doesn't have that much armor, and Lifestealer kind of just eats through him. They don't really have too much anti-Lifestealer. Similar to last game, Visage with Familiars and physical damage a little bit, but only if you let him get out of hand like last game is that going to be a problem. And nothing else really besides that. But Gyrocopter, safe and sound pick.
Safe and sound, yes indeed. All of that AoE damage. So the name of the game for Empire, though, is going to be making it happen. They have that synergy, they have that crazy combo if they can line it up. But of course, Next.KZ, they're well aware of how scary things can be if they clump up, and I have a feeling their positioning is going to make things a little more difficult for Empire, but always going to be something scary. And even if Empire start to fall behind in that mid-game a little bit, they're always going to have that sort of just a part of their arsenal. They need to be careful not to get caught with, too many next to each other in that Naga sleep. But alas, we are going to move into a pause here to start off game number 2. Hopefully it doesn't take too long here. But again, guys, this is game 2 of 5. Coming up next, we are going to see the super strong dinosaurs against Virtus Pro. After that will be Power Rangers versus Four Friends and Krilly. And our final match to round things off for the day is going to be Aspera versus Team Fnatic. So a lot of good matches coming up here today, Merlini. Empire Next.KZ, not a bad one either here for game 2.
Yeah, this one is probably going to be the closest one of the. I think Four Friends plus Krilly versus Power Rangers will be a pretty good game too.
Yeah, absolutely. All of them are pretty solid. I'm very curious about super strong dinosaurs as well with our buddy Sneaking.
Oh yeah, and VP with their new lineup.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I saw it on Reddit and I've already forgotten. Dread is now part of their lineup officially, right? That's actually kind of interesting.
I think it was JOTM and Illidan. I don't know if Dread is another alias, but those were the two cited on the Join Dota news post.
Oh, I was thinking of Poseidon. I'm sorry, I had the wrong team in mind.
Oh, and NS and Boyer Brain are out.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I was talking about the wrong team. Poseidon has now picked up Dread, Solo, and Nexus to join KSI and Tame My Wild at Team Poseidon. So there's been roster changes all over the place, but we aren't going to see Poseidon for I think we've got 5 days of Starladder action, then a weekend off, and I don't think we see Poseidon in the next 5 days of casting. So not particularly relevant at the moment, I suppose, but yeah, food for thought. It's all over the Reddit. Yeah, I don't see him here. So yeah, the new Virtus Pro roster should be interesting though, for sure. We are going to get to see Na'Vi coming up this week on oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong week. Oh Jesus, I'm so sorry. I take that back again. Well, no. Bad at reading this schedule. Yeah, never mind. We don't see Na'Vi for a while. And we will see Poseidon tomorrow. So I was totally looking at the wrong week. My bad. Oh man.
Wait, so Poseidon has a new roster? I did not see this news.
Yeah, it's on number 7 on the Reddit right now. It says, Dread is back. Dread, Solo, and Nexus join KSI.
Oh, cool.
Should be interesting.
Well, that's good for them. Yeah, a lot of roster reshuffle in the CIS scene. That is pretty typical. I guess not for Next.KZ. Actually, they've been together for quite some time, it looks like.
They've been pretty stable. Amazing, I don't think. Was he part of their roster in Season 7? That's the only name in this lineup that seems off, but I may just be grasping for straws here. But you're right, they have had a pretty stable roster overall. Anyhow, last we are going to resume here, guys, and we can get straight into Game 2. Team Empire are going to be on our dire side. In the bottom lane, going to have Mag playing on the Elder Titan. Van Score going to be headed to that bottom lane as well, supporting on the Naga Siren. In the mid, going to be Resolution playing on Shadow Fiend, and that means up in the top lane, we've got 2 heroes as well. Always Want to Fly going to be on the Bane, and of course, we do have Silent going to be on that hard-farming Gyrocopter. Empire starting us off here with a 2-1-2 in this best-of-1 match. On the Radiant side, we have Next.KZ. We saw them in last match in great form, and here we're going to see them again and see how they fare against this Wombo combo lineup. We've got Amazing playing on the Visage. Reeves going to be supporting on that Alchemist. Equal going to be in the top lane on that Clockwork. In the mid, going to be Wadafaka playing on the Invoker, and down in the bottom, going to be Mantis once again here on the Mirana in the safe lane. So, an interesting lineup. Thoughts here, Merlini, at face value before the creeps spawn? Either side have a pretty clear advantage in your opinion?
I like Next.KZ's lineup, or sorry, Empire's lineup, just because they have Elder Titan. Elder Titan I've just seen just crush time and time again, and Empire, I think, being the stronger team, will utilize them to pretty good effect, so I have to give them the edge in this matchup.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that as well, but time will tell. Of course, they're going to have to get out of the laning phase before that really scary Wombo combo becomes a reality, and we'll see how they fare on that front. Shadow Fiend versus Invoker, one that we mentioned, like most matchups of Shadow Fiend versus an intellect hero, there's sort of a small advantage to level 5, and then that's when Shadow Fiend starts to take off, and it gets increasingly more difficult for the opposition to stand toe-to-toe.
There might be a smoke, and look at Nagasar. Yep. She knows, too. That's very smart, and if they go around, their smoke is going to get revealed. This is like one of the best positioning from Nagasar I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Wow, look at that. Right away.
It's some next level stuff from Van Score right there.
Yeah, in the high ground too, so he's safe. He has the vision. They don't know where he is. Very nicely done. You're exactly right. Going to thwart that early bit of aggression onto Resolution. All right. Next.
They're probably just like, what just happened? So well, Resolution doesn't have that great of a start, though. He is still sitting at 1-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, just imagine if he got picked off, it'd be even worse. So, yeah, very nice. I mean, with the Shadow Fiend, I mean, it is a nice heads-up play, but a little bit expected, given that Shadow Fiend is just so susceptible to those early ganks. We've seen those kind of early smoke wraparounds time and time again here in the CIS scene, so nice to see that Empire is got their wits about them here. Reeves just going to rotate down to the bottom and try and zone out this Elder Titan a little bit. Kind of a futile effort, perhaps, but still going to join this Mirana and help out her laning phase a little bit. The real victor in the laning phase so far, though, seems to be Gyrocopter. Silent is basically in free farm mode up here, doing quite well against Equal on the Clockwork. Clockwork able to get a little bit of experience. He is 1-0, but with Bane up, going to continue to zone him out and try and maintain lane presence. So I have a feeling this Gyrocopter will indeed be a force to be reckoned with as this match continues.
Yeah, Clockwork is not getting that much experience. He is level 2.5. Looks like Elder Titan is actually around 2.5 too, but he will get some of the Centaur split experience on bottom and check bottom lane at the same time. So pretty good for him. And it will be a regeneration rune. Resolution does not need it. He can just pick it up and cast another spirit, and he gets a fair amount of CS too. He will scout out the small camp. On the bottom lane, we see bottom farming okay. 7-3, not as good as the Gyrocopters though. Equal on top lane.
Oh, yeah, Equal going to be in some trouble. It is a 3v1. Going to use the cogs. All of them going to be stuck inside. Yeah, he's going to be hard-pressed to survive that one. Gyrocopter going to walk away with the last hit. Wow. Bane taking some tower damage here. Oh, the Sunstrike going to connect. Very nicely done by
I don't know why he walked out of the cog. Like, he could just stay in there just like the rest of his team. But if he just stayed there, there would have been no opportunity for Wadafaka there.
Yep. So, a nice Sunstrike, not even trying to juke either, just walking on that straight path, does at least make it a 1-for-1, so, still bad news, though, for Next.KZ. Gyrocopter getting that pit of bonus gold. He's already off to the races in terms of farm, and now going to have a nice little boost in that net worth chart. And it seems Resolution picking up a bit of momentum in the mid lane here as well. 13-2 against the 13-7 Invoker, so at least now going equal in creep kills.
There's a smoke from Next.KZ, though. They want to kill Resolution, but he is super far back. He has no idea where the supports are, and they've just been doing a fantastic job of dodging the ganks, and I think Next.KZ is probably just going to sit there for 30 seconds, wonder where he is, and then just back off. Top lane.
Yep, looks like Equal could be stuck in another sticky situation here, trying to absorb a little bit of that experience, but maybe getting a bit hyper-aggressive, going to get caught in the Nightmare, and again, he's going to be in big trouble here. They're trying to line up to all get stuck inside the cogs, and they're going to fish their wish there as the cogs do come out, all three stuck inside, and again, Gyrocopter going to grab himself that kill. Equal just pressing way too far forward right there, and knowing that there's a Bane and a Naga right around the corner, you got to be a little bit more cautious than that.
Yep, and they will scout out the two heroes on bottom lane, so it looks like Shadow Fiend knows that he's safe again, and will pop right back up. He's probably like, oh my goodness, how is he dodging all these ganks? But it's just really good awareness by Resolution, and yeah, Equal is playing way too aggressively. He should just do what Elder Titan is doing, just sit in the river, just soak up experience. They're trying to creep neutrals and just play it safe. He's level almost level 4 right now. Equal does tend to come back in the mid game though. Oh, amazing on bottom.
Yep, no, not going to have a little skirmish there. Double damage rune on Elder Titan, but he's just going to head back to his tower there in the bottom lane. And oh, Gyrocopter, look at that. A 4-minute and 30 seconds Midas. That's about as fast as it gets, folks. I mean, getting the first 2 kills of the match under your wing certainly does help out, but Resolution in the mid lane. Cold Snap going to be used. In come the cogs, the Sunstrike. That is finally going to be a successful kill onto the Shadow Fiend.
He saw that coming too. I don't like. He was doing such a good job of dodging ganks, and Clockwork just pretty much walked up to him after the cold snap and died there. So I mean, that's no one to blame but Resolution for that one.
Yeah, still, they finally get one. Still doing okay, at least in the mid lane. Of course, going toe-to-toe with the farm against Invoker. He does still have 10 souls left, so he can at least grab a little bit of last hitting action here. Does have his bottle in his boots, but yeah, successful gag nonetheless. The Gyrocopter is the scary one, though. With Midas this early, I mean, what are your thoughts here? What should Next.KZ do? Pull a rotation to try and deal with this Gyro, or just... they're
going to try and out-farm with
let him go to town, and yeah, it seems like
I don't think it's the right idea, though. I mean, can they really bring the fight to them right now? Maybe when Clockwork hits level 6, they can. But their supports are really under-leveled. Next.KZ is... They need levels on Alchemist. He's only level 2 right now. So is Visage. Compared to the Bane, level 4, Nagasaran almost level 4 too. And, like, if they try and bring the fight to Empire too early, their support levels is just going to crush them. So I can understand why Next.KZ wants to farm it up, and it is a safer route at this stage in the game.
And
what was that raise from Resolution? What the hell? Did you see that?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, he just went up here and did a short range raise. I don't know what he's doing.
And my other question was going to be if Wadafaka here is going to go for a Midas on that Invoker, and indeed he shall. The recipe now sitting in the stash, so going to be a double set of Midas coming out for Next.KZ, as you mentioned, one on the Mirana, now one on the Invoker, up against the single Midas from Empire on that lone Gyrocopter. So they are going to try to take that farm as you mentioned, but time will tell if it's going to work out. Again, in the mid lane, Resolution going to be in some trouble. Cold Snap to start it off. Unstable Concoction going to come, but Resolution will be able to make it back in time. The Acid Spray comes out. There was a port on the way, but looks like it got canceled there as Moonlight Shadow gets used. Bane going to rotate in and hold the lane here while Shadow Fiend rotates rotates into the jungle. So a noble effort, but again, going to be thwarted there by superior positioning from the Shadow Fiend. Up in the top lane here, going to see Equal in a little bit of trouble. The cogs come out. Call down going to be used to follow up from that ensnare. Are they going to have enough to finish him off, though? One more auto attack. Clockwork turning around. Oh man, I thought he might have been able to survive that, but he kind of went back in.
Flat cannon damage. I don't actually know if they had vision of him for that, if he had run away, but I don't know why he turned around either.
Yeah, close one.
He has max flak actually instead of max rocket barrage. He went a 204.
Interesting
Build.
Yeah. So with that, Empire going to be able to pressure this top tier tower, top tier 1 tower, pardon me. Glyph going to be used, and that will buy them a little bit of time. I think it may keep it safe. But this Clockwork not having the start he was looking for, equal 0-3 and 2. He did have that successful gank on the Shadow Fiend in the mid, but other than that, his laning presence really not been so good in the long lane. The name of the game is just not to concede deaths above all, and that is something he has not achieved well, especially in comparison to his off-lane counterpart, that Elder Titan. Although Elder Titan has been struggling as well. He's only level 4, working towards a Soul Ring at the moment, does have the recipe in that Sage Mask, but not too much to his name. No bottle or anything. Just going to head back to the lane and try and soak up a little bit of experience. Arrow going to fly and just going to be shy of connecting with the Elder Titan.
Yep. And Mac has been checking the runes constantly too, and that's been a really big boon for him. Looks like Eagle will get a haste and resolution. Is he going to die? There is no hookshot coming out from Clockwork. He may go around back. No.
Yep.
No easy kill yet.
If only he was level 6, would have had a nice nice initiation right there, but alas, haste rune.
Yeah, I guess he's died 3 times, but he's still higher level than Mag, so it's not that bad, I suppose.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Powered Treads now going to be in the inventory of Resolution on that Shadow Fiend, so he's going to get a little bit more potent as well. And see a bottle. Yeah, there's bottles on the courier. I'm going to be heading it back. Up in the top, always want to fly in silent. Going to continue to pressure this tower. Acid Spray going to come out from the level 3 Alchemist here. See them just running through the tower, looking for an opportunity to initiate on the Alchemist.
Fly is going to tank like 3 fire. If he tanks another Sunstrike here. Oh my goodness. He has to be ready for that. He already died once like that, and that was just so close. And they're playing super aggressively. He tanked tower, like trying to go in for the sleep, and has to be a little bit more careful there.
Yeah, absolutely. Slightly off the mark. He didn't even try to juke it, just running in that straight line. I guess he was scared to take extra tower shots with the Acid Spray debuff, but still, if What a Fuck had picked him off right there, that would have been... that would have been devastating, I think, is a fair word. This Invoker, though, his farm's not looking so bad himself. Again, he's got that Hand of Midas. He's going to port to the top lane. Oh, yeah, Alchemist going to be in some trouble. Invoker is going to port up, though. He does have a couple of Forged Spirits with him. We'll see what he can do. Sunstrike going to come. It is going to connect with the Naga. Vanscore going to be dangerously low here. Will take a couple of wand charges to pick himself back up. And Invoker not going to be able to grab that last hit. Moonlight Shadow going to come out, but not going to be enough. So a nice port up. Again, a noble effort, but unfortunately not going to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, Resolution still farming away too. I'm not really sure when Empire is going to make their move. Probably still going to be a bit of time though. Silent going for the Helmet Dominator. Just a power farming build, not even a TP scroll on him. He is not looking to defend towers. He is just looking to get that GPM. 10-minute rune about to spawn. Amazing on bottom. Will not scout it out. It is an Invis on top. Equal is finally level 6. And I think they can just kill Resolution over and over. And like maybe if Naga Siren is there for Song of the Siren, they can try and kill. They can try and like counter gank, but for the most part, Resolution is not going to be able to fight until he gets his BKB.
Yep. And he is well on his way. He does have that Ogre Club, another 300 gold in the bank, so he's at least doing okay, close to that 1,000.
Watch Mag on bottom.
Yep. Oh, down bottom.
Resolution in mid too.
Yeah, exactly. 2 kills about to come out here. Reeves is going to come in onto Mag. The arrow going to fly. Is going to scout it out. Not going to connect. The Acid Spray is going to try to port out on Sable Concoction. Going to connect in time. That will be the end of the Elder Titan. Mantis going to be the one to grab that last hit. Going to make it 3-4 here as we pass the 10-minute mark. Empire holding on to a hero kill lead and actually still holding on to the farm lead as well. 1,500 gold, somewhere about 1,200 experience or so, as the Elder Titan does get picked off for the first time.
Only one Midas to 2, though. Can they hold it through in the mid game? Not really sure. I don't know why Mag didn't just like use his Spirit to scout out over here. Both offlane players just not playing very safe at all.
Yeah, absolutely. This top tier 1 tower, though, going to be under heavy fire. Looks like Empire may be able to grab themselves the first tower kill of the match. Indeed, they shall. We saw Bane kind of pressing forward past the tower, looking for an opportunity for a Nightmare engage. Look right here, going to box Equal out a little bit. hoping to catch him with a Nightmare, but alas, Equal going to be just a bit too far back. He is now level 6, so does have Hook Shot, but not going to be able to do much by himself here in this 1v3 scenario. And Empire, oh, nope, not going to start chipping away at that tier 2, just going to back up to friendly territory here. Gyrocopter's farm, still impressive. That Helm of the Dominator, as you mentioned, almost 2,000 gold in the bank now as he does pick up that tower kill. Oh man, his farm looking good. He's about 2,000 gold ahead of the second person on the net worth chart, who is Invoker at about 5.6k, and he's sitting holding steady at about 7.6k. I think they would be wise to start stacking the Ancients here, and it looks like they're going to do just that. Compliments of the Helm of the Dominator. Only a double stack right now, but of course it is going to continue to grow as that Gyrocopter looks.
I think it's a really bad decision for Next.KZ to try and play the farm war, because they don't have any BKBs, and what's to stop them from just going in with a Song of the Siren into Earth Splitter into Call Down into Requiem without any BKBs? They are just going to fall like flies. And even aside from that, you're trying to play a late game war as a Priestess of the Moon and an Invoker versus a Gyrocopter and a Shadow Fiend. That is just not going to work out, and that's even excluding the supports, which has minus armor from Elder Titan as well as Naga Siren, and they have the Fiend's Grip that goes to BKB even if Potom does manage to farm up. So Empire, they have to be feeling pretty comfortable. Yeah,
I absolutely agree with you on that front. We've talked about Mirana many a time. She's a very powerful hero, a great soft carry, but when it comes to playing that hard carry role, definitely not so strong, especially when you compare her farm to that of Gyrocopters right now. Not that Mirana is farming poorly, but still an item behind Gyrocopter, and it's probably going to stay that way as they both have a Midas, are both farming in a pretty comparable fashion. So Gyro's just going to be a hop and a skip ahead of her the whole time, and I think this Shadow Fiend should be able to tango with the Invoker, even though he doesn't have a Midas of his own. You know, in terms of carry power, Shadow Fiend going to have the upper hand. Invoker does have the Force Staff already, though, so that mobility item has come out. Invoker going to have a little more utility. He is 2-0-0, so yet to concede a death. Always a good sign when you can stay alive before grabbing that Force Staff. Now he's going to be that much more difficult to lock down.
And yeah, I mean, Next.KZ, I hope they try and make a move soon, because they do need to, especially before Shadow Fiend gets his BKB. He still needs a full Mithril Hammer, so like 1,400 gold, or 1,600 gold really rather. So they have a pretty good amount of time to make things happen.
Yep.
It's really on Equal, though. Equal has to be the one that like initiates with hook shots and finds these pretty weak heroes to kill. But I mean, I saw Equal like fall really far behind another game, and then he just like completely dominated. But this game, he just seems to be playing very, very passively after his early 3 deaths.
Yeah, and that
he gets to initiate on top.
Yep. Oh, there it is. He's going to be in trouble again. That's going to be the Nightmare into Ensnare, Call Down. He is going to be able to get nice cons off this time.
What is that, sleep?
Yeah, not going to be in a position to get all 3 stuck in the cogs. Alchemist is going to come in. Unstable Concoction. Sunstrike. Silent could be in a little bit of trouble here. Follow-up damage, though, going to be non-existent. Unfortunately, Clockwork not going to be in position to make anything happen. No health, no mana. Does still have the hookshot off cooldown, but not going to be able to make it happen. So a nice little combo there between the Sunstrike and the Unstable Concoction, but not going to be enough for a kill.
Yeah, Silent, like, will right-click the Gyrocopter to wake up the sleep. He can just flack something else if he's really scared about it, or just wait for the call down damage to hit. I don't exactly know why he get that off. I don't think it would have killed him. It would have been really darn close, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3-4 here at the 14-minute mark, a match semi-A characteristic of the CIS scene. 7 kills in about 14 minutes of gameplay. Very passive indeed. And we've already mentioned a couple times how that kind of favors Empire a little bit with their lineup, but alas, 1 Midas to 2. Next.KZ might be able to hold their own. We see that gold graph starting to level out a little bit around that 2,000 gold deficit, jumping all over the place, with Empire still hanging on to a very minor, but still, you know, their experience lead of about 500. So we'll see. They're giving this Shadow Fiend a lot of room to grab that BKB, though. He's only about 600 gold off now. He's got the Ogre Club as well as the Mithril Hammer. Just needs that recipe. And that's going to be a scary time. Once Resolution has the BKB, that'll give him a lot more flexibility about the map and allow him to prepare for team fights.
There's a stun coming.
Yep, looks like we could see an initiation here. Reeves going to come in, charging up that Unstable Concoction. Going to use it on the Naga Siren. Going to get caught in Fiend's Grip right away. Deafening Blast going to come out, and the counter initiation from the Naga, that Song of the Siren, going to catch all of them, but I think it's going to be a defensive song, as they all do head for the hills. Indeed, they do. In the bottom lane, did miss it while we were watching mid. Mirana going to be able to pick off the Elder Titan, probably just connecting with an arrow. The Starstorm combo, easy kill on that underfarmed Elder Titan. That'll tie it up 4-4 here as we approach that 15-minute mark.
Should be 2 easy towers for Next.KZ actually. And yeah, Mag cannot die in that one-on-one situation, let his tower fall. And same with mid, they kind of wasted a Song of Siren. They didn't really need to use it unless they were going to initiate, which would have been pretty nice to initiate. Unstable Concoction was down, Invoker used a spell too, just pop a Requiem right on top of the Alchemist, and would have been a kill, but they did not feel that gank out. And Visage is not even level 6, so they don't have anything that can do anything during Song of the Siren. But Empire seems a little bit content to farm. Gyrocopter going for the BKB. Already has it. 15-minute phase, Hannah minus HOD BKB. That's ridiculous farm. And I also don't know why Clockwork's going for Blade Mail. He has it right now, but for 2 BKBs, it's not that great. I guess he can kill the other heroes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those just utility items on Clockwork. I mean, what would you rather him grab right here in this kind of a scenario?
Just Mech, I think. Arcane Mech would have been a lot better. Mech is almost the same gold as Blade Mail. Mech would have been much better for his team. They don't have one right now. The armor is good to counteract all the minus armor from them, and Resolution already has his BKB out. So the Blade Mail came out a little bit too late. If he were snowballing, I think it'd be a good item, but he is not. And look at Silence Farm too. Oh my goodness, that's a huge stack.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, how many is this here? I've already seen half of them have died, but it's at least a 4-stack, if not 5. They're going to scout it out. They know exactly what's happening here, but all these creeps getting dangerously low is Silent, waiting for that next
he's going to steal experience
cooldown.
At least.
Yeah,
he leapt into there? Are you kidding me? Mantis, what are you doing? Oh my goodness.
That was...
What? What just happened?
Wow. I mean, he just took so much damage from the neutrals alone. I think he may have just died to the neutrals, even if the heroes weren't there. That was just such a misplay. I don't know.
Mega YOLO leave right there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what he was hoping to achieve.
About to get slept. Oh, no, just straight up gripped. Well, there is a Blade Mail, but it's not going to save you.
Not going to return enough damage right there. That's going to be an easy 5v1 kill. Now things starting to look a little bit more grim for Next.KZ. We see the graph swaying way in their favor following that kill on the Elder Titan and then those 2 tier 1 tower kills, but it looks like Empire are going to be able to respond quite nicely here after taking out that stack and should be able to grab themselves this tier 1 tower kill down in the bottom lane to level out the tower difference here. Gyrocopter will port to the mid and exchange blows with the Invoker. Both of them going to be able to survive and head back to friendly territory. A wasted port down here in the bottom lane. Somebody thought they were going to YOLO that tower, but alas, they're making the right call to cancel it. How
many YOLO plays are going to see this game?
Yeah, a port to the death right there. So 2-2 here in total tower count. 2 tier 1s apiece knocked down, and Next.KZ pressuring the top tier 1 tower, but I don't think they're going to commit to it here in any fashion. It's really just the Alchemist and the Familiars at this point. We'll see what Empire want to do, though. They seem pretty comfortable down here pressuring this bottom tier 2. A 4-second stun will connect with the Bane, and should be enough to scare him back. Sunstrike going to come, going to be a little bit late and off the mark, and Always Want to Fly going to be able to walk away unscathed following the bit of fire damage that would have come his way. And that'll be it. That's where it's going to settle down. 6-4 here at the 18-minute mark. Just look at that gold graph. It peaks up for a plateau, 2 towers fall, and goes way back to where it started. Empire now leading again by about 1,500 gold. This Gyrocopter still continuing to impress with that level of farm. 12,000 net worth at the 18-minute mark. I don't want to say that's some kind of a record, but that is damn impressive, Merlini.
Already was going for a Midas too. So it looks like they... I mean, I guess theoretically Alchemist can get stacked in the late game. Oh, Sleep comes out.
Oh, that was a nice little play right there from Always Want to Fly. Yeah, nicely done. Does dodge the Sunstrike as well.
I think they can defend this. All they need to do is just keep spamming with the Astral Spirit and then have Gyrocopter come in or Shadow Fiend with the BKB and they can defend it. So I think it's a bad idea for Next.KZ to push right now. And Empire, they have pretty good map control. I think they should take out the mid tower pretty soon and then do Roshan. They have a pretty good Roshan lineup with the HOD Gyrocopter. I mean, to be honest, he could potentially solo it pretty soon with his next item. And Shadow Fiend too with the minus armor will... wow, he's going for straight damage. Crystal is next.
Interesting. Yeah, and I was going to ask about your thoughts on Desolator first from the Mirana. I guess in this role where Mirana has to play the hard carry, going one of those hard-hitting items into Yasha is not a bad choice, but I worry about the survivability. I mean, look at
if she gets slept, she's... Or if she gets Naga slept or Bane slept, she's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, at least he'll get Manta coming out to give him a little bit of survivability, but still, total glass cannon build on Mirana. If he can stay alive, going to be hitting hard, but still a scary choice nonetheless. And there was another item picked up that I wanted to mention. Oh, Invoker, picking up that Mystic Staff. I imagine just going for a fast Sheep. Is that what makes sense here?
Yeah, Sheep is best versus BKB.
Yeah.
Definitely not the Orchid build that Hani does a lot. Orchid builds is not bad, just not versus mass BKBs. And it looks like he's going to stack up again, and it's going to be a quad stack after this. Do Roshan. They can really just force a fight wherever they want to, because they have the Song of the Siren, which is just really potent. Oh, they actually missed a stack.
Yeah, not too concerned, though. They're just going to take it out. So going to be a nice little gold pick-me-up there for the gyrocopter. Now upwards, just about 14,000 on the net worth chart, somewhere around 13.5. Still holding steady, a full 3,000 gold ahead of the Invoker, who is number 2 on the net worth chart. So still continuing to dominate on that front. But Roshan, as you mentioned here at the 20-minute mark, going to be under heavy pressure from Empire. There is a rocket that comes out to scout it out. There's a Forged Spirit nearby as well. Going to be a nice little bit of extra gold coming the way of Empire. And Strat Paw is going to come out from Empire here as Roshan down to about 1/3 HP or so. I don't know if Next.KZ going to be able to contest this, though. They know what's going on.
No way. Maybe they can like kill steal it with Sunstrike. That's like the best
you could hope
play.
for.
Yeah, that's a really long shot, but I mean it's better than going in there and just dying. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just
maybe Clockwork can Mega Yellow hopefully in, but I don't think he's going to. He's in top lane.
Too far away. They do have a tier 1 tower he could port and try and hookshot right away, but going to be hard pressed to do it in
right
time.
now.
Yeah, and even then, I'm not sure he's going to make it. So looks like.
I mean, Invoker almost has a sheep though. He's really farmed too, and like he's 4th on last hits, but I mean he's still pretty close in terms of net worth to the Gyro. I guess not that close, and Resolution is actually falling pretty far behind. I don't particularly like this Chrysalis build up. I think he needs utility. Or like a Manta style I think would be really good. They don't have that much AoE to deal with. Like Potom not very good at dealing with multiple targets. Neither is Alchemist or Visage for that matter. So I think that they don't really have the AoE to cope with a lot of Manta styles. Yeah, he does right click a lot, but they already have Gyrocopter for the damage. So he just needs to survive and be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Empire perhaps worried that Next.KZ could overtake their carry power with their Hand of Midas action. I mean, if we added up the net worths, the Invoker and a Mirana on one side and the Gyro and Shadow Fiend on the other, it's pretty close to a wash because of the 2 Midas versus 1. Of course, Gyrocopter is a hop and a skip ahead, but, you know, as are Mirana and Invoker over that Shadow Fiend. So perhaps that's the mindset going into it. They just want that Shadow Fiend to be as much of a hard carry as possible for those right clicks. But I agree, again, that Glass Cannon build can be a little bit scary going into a game like this. But we will resume here. Roshan still under heavy fire. And, well, there is going to be a port to the mid from the Clockwork. But equal, if his goal was to try and contest Rosh, going to do it a bit too late. Roshan is going to fall uncontested. Shadow Fiend going to be the one to grab the Aegis. Not even going to attempt to snipe it with the Sunstrike right there. So Empire going to further their lead a little bit right here. We'll see what they do following that successful Roshan kill here at the 21-minute mark.
Take an easy tier 1 with Song of the Siren to always threaten Next.KZ. And that's the thing about Nagas. I'm like, do you really want to take engagement, potentially get slept on, and then just wombo comboed? That's just put the recipe for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're actually absolutely right about this tier 1 pressure, the tier 1 in the mid, looking like it may fall. Glyph is actually going to be used to try and defend. We'll see how Next.KZ want to handle this. They don't have the Mirana with them, so it is a 5v4 in the mid lane right here. Unstable Concoction going to be charged up, will connect with the Shadow Fiend, and that will help push them back a little bit. But Empire seem to be eager to commit to this. They are going to pop the mech and just try and drop this tier 1 tower with a couple of last right clicks here. Acid Spray is going to expire. And wow, they're not going to commit to it. I think they should at least commit because Mirana is going to grab a tier 2 tower kill. No, 2 ports going to come in just in the nick of time. Going to be Vanscore, who is going to be followed with Always Want to Fly there on the Bane. So not even going to grab that tier 1 tower kill. Both sides just going to do some tower damage and retreat to friendly territory.
Yeah, that's where the Desolator really comes in handy when you want to put split pressure. So nice play from Next.KZ. I thought they were going to drop an easy T1. I think they could have just walked in with Slepto. They're really strong compared to them right now because they have 2 BKBs. The goal difference is not that much. It's only at 1,000 right now, but they could just run them over with BKBs, and they really should force a fight right now before Next.KZ gets too farmed with a Sheep on Invoker with a Manta style on Mirana. That's actually pretty scary. Wadafaka with his Sheep.
Uh-oh, he's going to find Silent. He's going to walk right by him. That's going to be the Sheep to come out. Hookshot going to come in. The Deafening Blast Meteor combo. Silent going to be in big trouble. Down he goes. That's going to be the end of a mega kill streak.
That's Invoker, a big kill.
Going to walk away 700 gold richer. Yeah, that was huge. He also has a haste rune as well. But, wow, little bit of luck right there. Bumping into the Gyrocopter solo at that particular camp. Seemed Invoker didn't even realize he was there until he turned the corner and saw him farm it away. But still very nicely done.
Yeah, they have him as a reward up there. So I
Oh, do they?
mean, they
Oh, yeah, there it
probably,
is.
yeah, but I mean, like Empire, they have the Aegis, they have the gold advantage right now, and still they're not really getting that much. They almost lost a T2, not even getting that T1. They lost the gyrocopter for pretty much nothing. So Empire, they have to make something happen soon, or else they're just squandering their early lead.
Yep, absolutely. In the top, Ree's going to try to pour it out. He's going to make it just in the nick of time as Bane and the old Shadow Fiend here move in and try and make him hurt. But we'll see. Empire starting to group up a little bit. Looks like they're eager to try and take initiations here, as they well should be, like you were mentioning. But unfortunately for them, Next.KZ doing a nice job with their map awareness here. And, well, finding the exchanges the other way. Clockwork still stationed about the top, or the high ground here in the mid lane, looking for someone to come in and try and defend this tier 2 tower. That Invoker is starting to pressure a little bit. Does have that hookshot up. Almost level 2 hookshot, actually is level 10, just about 100 experience away from level 2. But there it is. Silent going to be the defender. Sheepstick going to be used. The Rocket going to come in, as will the Meteor. But uh-oh, Van Score going to pour it in to defend. He is going to initiate with that Song of the Siren. The support on the way, and they're going to try to make something happen here. The Earth Splitter going to come. Going to connect with both Equal and Whatafaka. Equal going to be the only one to fall here, it looks like, as Whatafaka going to move his way through the trees. He is in Ghost Walk right now, and I think he's going to be able to survive.
That was just with like Elder Titan and Naga. Imagine if there's a cooldown, imagine there's flag damage, imagine there's a Requiem, and then Invoker will just like die so fast. So they have the right idea, but it's still just not really that much for Empire in this mid game, and they're falling really far behind in terms of gold right now. 1500 for Next.KZ, and Reeves is actually pretty close to his Hand of Midas BKB too. So he's actually getting pretty stacked on the Alchemist. I like the transition from him. I think it was a really smart idea to switch builds, just because of the way Empire's been playing, just super passive all around the map. And Gyrocopter now with his Butterfly doesn't really make him that much more survivable against like the Sheep and Meteor Blast combo that he has already died to once. I think he needs HP. Next Satanic Manta even would be okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. But one good thing about the Butterfly, though, if they use that Sheep on anyone else, or he's able to stay back, it will help just a pinch and may try to force the hand of that Mirana to move towards an MKB, and she's already committed to so many kind of glass cannon style items. I guess Manta isn't really a glass cannon item, but going that Desolator first, Desolator, MKB, Manta, that's still a very, very squishy Mirana. And, well, for better or for worse, could make things easier for Empire, but if they leave her unchecked, of course, she'll be hitting quite hard. So Gyrocopter still leading the way in farm, though, on the net worth chart, still up by almost about 3,000, so holding on to that huge lead he started with. But time will tell as things start to shift a bit. Empire, this graph has been all over the place, but the Empire still trailing now by about 2,000 gold deficit, although the experience graph is about leveled out. Once Alchemist starts to improve his farm, 3 Midas versus 1. It's pretty easy math right there, Merlini. Next.KZ will eventually come out ahead in the gold graph.
Yeah, they can do next Roshan. Empire has like pretty good map control right now. They finally took out that mid T1 too, so they're doing decently. Just need to wait it out and then maybe force a fight too. They still have no BKBs on the side of Next.KZ and still vulnerable to the combo, but eventually, if Empire lets them farm up, they will be able to counter it with just 3 or 4 BKBs.
Yep, double damage rune going to be picked up here at the 26-minute mark. It will be resolution on the Shadow Fiend, who now has a Daedalus to go with that BKB, and also the Aegis of the Immortal still in the inventory here. Looks like Empire want to get aggressive. They want to use this DD rune to the fullest of its potential. Unfortunately,
this is not the right time, though. They're going to lose top tower for pretty much nothing, and then they are also going to lose the Aegis. It just popped on Shadow Fiend too, so it's a really bad time to fight. At least they have sentries and are prepared.
Yep, and
for that.
Yeah, and by the time they get to
maybe
the
they
tower,
aren't prepared.
Double damage going to be expired here. Arrow going to fly. Is it going to connect? Nope, going to be slightly off the mark. Acid Spray comes out, and I don't think Empire are going to be able to do this. This top tier 1 tower going to take damage from the familiars, will eventually fall as a slow push to these creeps. I'm not sure how Empire want to handle this here. They should have a Song of the Siren available.
Run in with Van Score. That's all they need to do.
Yeah, they've got it available. They've got the combo. Nice little bit of poke coming out here from Next.KZ. The Meteor going to come, and there it is. Song of the Siren going to be used. Going to catch the Invoker as well as the Alchemist. Arrow going to come around the side. Will connect with the Gyrocopter. Equal going to come in with the hook shot. Will connect. Here's their combo. Not really going to be in tandem as the way it should be, but still going to be able to grab a kill on Mirana to start off this fight. A couple of Familiars going to get popped, and as you were mentioning, the BKBs coming in handy there for Empire. It is only a 1-for-0 exchange, but Empire now completely zoning out Next.KZ. They've got a couple of red health heroes. Glyph going to to be used to try and keep this tower alive. Sunstrike going to come in as well, not going to connect with that Elder Titan, slightly off the mark as well. And wow, Shadow Fiend critting for almost 700 on these creeps with all that minus armor they have. Again, Mirana going to be in the grave for another 40 seconds. Here comes the Acid Spray, and Empire just don't want to fight in that Acid Spray.
They have to kill Invoker faster in the fights. He was like really close to dropping, and yeah, now they're doing okay though. Empire's still not that far behind, even though the goal graph may suggest otherwise. And they still have really good map control. Roshan going to respawn maybe two to or I guess like 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 4 minutes, I suppose. I always forget with the new Roshan timer.
I can't. I could pretend like I know what's going on, but the Aegis just expired right before that fight, so it'll be up in like 3-ish minutes, pending some RNG. It's a good guess. Have to keep an eye out for the little side panel to pop up and inform us about that timer. But that fight, although really not a lot came of it, Empire wasn't able to grab a tower. The net worth chart going to shift a little bit here.
That's a really low respawn, 45 seconds.
Even more in favor of Silent, though. Now about 19k. He's about 5k ahead of number 2 slots there, the Mirana Invoker, who are about tied with one another. So things still looking okay for Empire in terms of Gyrocopter farm. He's now got the Satanic recipe and just actually about 500 gold off of the Reaver he needs for, for that last piece. BKB up on the Alchemist now as well. And Shadow Fiend looking like he may be transitioning into a Satanic with Helm of the Dominator of his own.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think that if they don't manage to get a couple kills though with their BKBs, Next.KZ just has way more control in team fights with Alchemist stun, with Potom Arrow, with Visage, familiar stuns, as well as all of the utility coming out from Invoker with this Sheep and Ice Wall and all that nonsense. So Empire has to get at least, I'd say, like 1.5 to 2 kills, like take one hero kind of out of the fight, just getting really low, and kill one hero during Song of the Siren, or else they might actually lose a team fight. Maybe not when their BKBs are still at 9 seconds, but definitely when they get to that 5 or 6 second mark, it's going to look really bad for them.
Yeah, up in the top, arrow from Mantis, almost connecting with Silent, but does clip a creep instead.
That's a ballsy play from Mantis.
Yeah,
he gets gripped, he's dead.
Yeah, always want to fly, sneaking his way forward. Bane is also a level 11 now, so that Fiend's Grip does a bit more damage. Whoa, outside the Roshan pit, though, looks like we will see some initiation. Resolution is going to get cheap, but Vanscore will come in with the Song of the Siren to reinitiate here. Looks like they're just going to use it defensively. Ensnare going to come out onto the Forged Spirit. So no follow-up going to come. Not going to set up a kill, unfortunately. It looks like Sacred Arrow going to connect with the Elder Titan in the mid while he's smoked up here. So just
and they are just really scared to turn things around. Like Potom was on top, so she couldn't have been there for the fight, and that's really the only way he's going to die during BKB. He could have just turned around on the Invoker who had already used his Force Staff. But they are, I mean, I guess it's not that bad for them that they didn't lose a fight, and it is really risky taking engagement right before Roche, but still I think Empire not capitalizing on as many opportunities as they could have.
Yep, absolutely. So second Roche going to be up here right around that 30-minute mark, and we'll see what comes of it. Empire starting to poke at him a little bit, but a little nervous to overcommit, so they don't want to get stuck in the pit. Next.KZ are not nearby. They have some ward coverage on their side of the river, but not much directly into the pit. There are plenty of dark areas here where Empire could sneak in and do something crafty. But still a very passive game here. Only 13 kills in 31 minutes. Again, very a-characteristic of what the CIS scene is known for, with those kind of YOLO, very aggressive plays. But things are starting to heat up here in the top lane, right around this tier 2 tower. There is a glyph available for Empire, not going to burn it to save the tower. Oh, a bit of a misplay there. They do burn the glyph, but they used it half a second too late and basically completely waste it right there, as Mirana does finish off the tower in the end. So minor misplay from Empire, going to give a bit of extra gold there the way of Next.KZ.
Yeah, and looking at a net worth graph, or net worth, oh, Reeves, is he? Oh, no, there's nowhere there to stop him. So Gyrocopter and Shadow Fiend are about equal to the Potom and the Invoker, and all the supports are around the same. Elder Titan almost the same as Clockwork, and the supports all sitting at the bottom, except for Alchemist. So Alchemist is this wild card here. Yeah, if he gets an AC, he's going to be pretty, like, this is going to be very important for Next.KZ to take on these late game engagements.
Yeah, could shift the carry advantage a little bit, but uh-oh, Silent going to be in a little bit of trouble here, going to get caught with a hook shot. Cog's going to pressure him outwards, but he's going to pop that BKB as he does survive. Song of the Siren going to come, call down lined up. This could be a little bit bad for Next.KZ as the rest of the damage comes out. Shadow Fiend going to use the Requiem of Souls, not going to do a lot of damage there, but they are going to be able to finish off the Alchemist to turn this into a 5v4, and this is going to be that opportunity Empire were looking for to move into the Roche Roche pit, and yeah, they're just going to go straight in, start chipping away. It is going to be scattered out by a rocket barrage. Of course, Next.KZ know exactly what's going on here. Sacred Arrow going to come, going to connect with the Bane. Sunstrike to follow up. Bane going to survive with about 15 hit points to spare. In comes the Mirana. Clockwork actually going to be the one to grab that last hit. Earth Splitter going to connect with the Mirana here. Aegis of the Immortal is going to be grabbed by the Shadow Fiend as the dire side. Of course, Team Empire do finish off Roshan. Mirana going to fall now to the wrath of the Gyrocopter. Empire, no holds barred, going to press forward with the Visage in their sights. I don't know if they're going to be able to grab him. Amazing, going to move around the trees, and I think he's going to survive, but still very successful for Team Empire right there, losing only their Bane. Unfortunately, that Sacred Arrow going to clip him from long distance, but still a successful team fight, 1 for 2, and of course, they do grab Roshan.
Mirana has another YOLO leap trying to finish off a Bane, and she has BKB, but she just got netted and died to Flak right there. So, I mean, Mantis could be 2-1 right now.
Yeah. So very, very unfortunate for that Mirana indeed, and it's bittersweet, I guess, seeing a Bane survive with 10. I think he was like 15 hit points after that Sunstrike. So you can just see the eyes of the Next.KZ players. Finish him, just get him, and yeah, leaping forward. But Clockwork actually was the one that finished him off. So Mirana didn't even really need to hop in quite as aggressively as she did. So again, very unfortunate. Though Empire may be able to finally grab themselves this tier 2 tower kill on the bottom lane. There was some split pushing action coming from Next.KZ, but there are going to be some ports from Empire to deal with that. Mirana going to be dead for another 10 seconds or so. So Empire.
This is a really good opportunity for Next.KZ right now.
Yep. Oh, there it is. Hookshot going to come in onto Silent. Sheepstick going to be used to follow up. The level 10 Gyrocopter. No damage going to come out as he's Sheep, though. He is going to be able to force staff away. The BKB going to be used. Call down going to come out. Not going to connect with anyone, but should be enough to box them out and keep them alive. Sacred Arrow going to fly. Not going to connect. Silent going to get caught by the Deafening Blast. He's on the run, and he's going to be hard-pressed to survive. Nice tornado coming out from What a Fucker right there. Silent, though, just going to turn and stand his ground. A nice Astral Spirit going to come out with from the Elder Titan. He will put some to sleep. A lot of red health heroes for Next.KZ. Silent just too fat right now. He's going to turn it around onto the Clockwork. He's going to fall. He will fall on his own in the end, and it looks like Next.KZ may be able to grab themselves a few more cleanup kills, but is it just me, or did that Gyrocopter survive much longer than he should have been able to?
That was a huge Echo Stomp. The Echo Stomp from Elder Titan was huge. He got like 4 heroes in that, and then Gyrocopter could have just turned around and run, or at least wait for his cooldowns to come up, but yeah, decided to just kind of stand his ground and fight like a man, which is not that great of a position considering he's like downhill when all the other heroes are uphill, especially as a range hero. That's not a good place. But if the Earth Splitter had come out a little bit earlier, I think that they would have just cleaned up right there.
Yeah.
Empire.
I absolutely agree. Echo Stomp, that's the name of the ability I was looking for. I saw the Astral Spirit, and I was struggling for the name of what the sleep was called. Echo Stomp, that's what set that up and allowed Gyrocopter to at least make it a 1-for-1, grab himself a kill onto that Clockwork. Unfortunately, Equal's still unable to catch a break in this match. He's only level 11, so 1-6-5. Not the best match he's had.
They need a Aegis on Gyro, too. Like, both the times that Gyrocopter has died, it's been while Shadow Fiend has had the Aegis, and like right after Roshan. And yeah, that's Next.KZ executing well, but it's also Resolution just not really doing anything with his amount of farm, whereas Silent is just trying to man mode all the time with his massive amount of farm. So I think that either Resolution needs to be more manly or Gyrocopter needs to take the Aegis.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It always pains me a little bit to see the Aegis expire, as it already did once. And based on the momentum of this game, I wouldn't be surprised if we see farming for the next 5 minutes and expiring once again here. But Shadow Fiend not going to go that satanic route, as I had first suggested. Of course, he is going to move into a butterfly now. Has the Eagle Song and the Talisman of Evasion. So just going to be 700 gold short or so of that quarter staff, and then he will have BKB, Daedalus, Lifesteal from that Helm of the Dominator, and a little bit of evasion as well. Still no MKBs out on our Radiant side. Mirana did finish up that Manta style and has another 4,000 gold in the bank. So if she wants to grab herself an MKB, gonna have the resources to do so before too long here. But time will tell. Any thoughts about MKB or next item choice for Mirana here?
I think it definitely should be MKB versus potentially 2 butterflies. Especially after seeing the Eagle Song and Shadow Fiend's inventory, should pretty much be a no-brainer for Potom, especially considering she's like majority of their right-click damage, a little bit from Spore Spirits, like a little bit from Evoker, a little bit from Alchemist, but the big chunk will be from the Priestess of the Moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an Invoker has picked up an Og Scepter. I don't know if we mentioned that, but going to lower the cooldown on that Invoke ability, and now he's going to have another Ultimate Orb in the inventory. Thoughts about that? Is that like going to be a Scotty? Where's he going with that?
I don't think it should be a Lincoln's. There's not really anything good that Lincoln's blocks. I guess like maybe some of Bane spells, but they
Yeah.
haven't been caught out by Bane spells anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. And they can just use homing missile to pop it off. The cooldown is almost the same, 20 seconds for homing missile level 1, 17 seconds for Lincoln's, I think. And Scotty is, I guess, nice too, but it's not gonna let you carry versus these HOD butterfly hard carries. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know what would be better for him at this point. I would. I'm not really sure. Like, if he wants to pick off people, he can just get a Blink Dagger and then Blink Sheep, but he hasn't really been finding that much of an issue initiating on people anyways, so he probably doesn't need it. He could go Scotty, but yeah, it's not really going to do that much versus the HOD Butterfly. He can't man mode fight them. Refresher, I guess, wouldn't be bad for him.
Yeah.
Just own them while they have their BKBs down.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe a Shiva's could have been something you wanted to go for, get a little bit of extra damage, try and deal with those carries just a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be
really
6 slotted
perfect.
really soon, though.
Yeah.
So, like, he has to make really good use of his item slots that are remaining.
True, good point. Fair enough, my friend. Alchemist here, going to have that Assault Cuirass. We mentioned how he can kind of tip the scales a little bit in terms of late game carry power. Reeves has definitely made a pretty solid recovery from support Alchemist now into kind of farming semi-pseudo carry Alchemist. We're looking at that net worth chart. He is at the tail end of the pack, but still way more farmed than his other support oppositions. Does have that BKB and Assault Cuirass, so now he's getting to that point where he doesn't hit hard, but he hits fast and is buffing up that team. Certainly something Empire are going to have to keep in the back of their minds there. MKB now picked up on Mirana, so that's going to be another big item choice, as we were just talking about not too long ago. And if that Aegis hasn't expired yet, yes, indeed it has. So again, we talked about it before. 2 for 2 now. Aegis going to expire after being in the inventory.
Wow,
of the
Gyro
Shadow
has a
Fiend,
sheep?
but-
What in the
Ooh.
world?
All right, so this reminds me of that Fnatic match where we saw Hani playing the Shadow Fiend grab himself a sheep stick that seemed really out of left field, and it ended up being the saving grace that allowed Fnatic to take the victory. So I'm not going to poo-poo on it, but it's interesting, very interesting.
It's just really his support's not doing a good job. Like, how many grips have we seen Fly get off to gank people with? Like, just almost none. And yeah, I mean, he has some spells to worry about, but if you're never using that, Next.KZ is just going to split push you to death. They're going to outfarm you to death. Look at the gold graph right now. It's almost 10,000 in favor of Next.KZ, which is ridiculous considering how farmed Gyrocopter is. And they just really haven't found any opportunity. No real good offensive sleeps aside from one on the bottom T2. No good grips from Bane. Just use your smokes, get some grips up. But they're not making Next.KZ feel threatened at all.
Yep. So this is starting to get a little bit scary. We talked just many a time, 3 versus 1 in terms of Midas count. He's going to come out in ahead in the long run, and also Alchemist having that Grievel's Greed for additional farming. Not surprised at all to see the graph shifting in the favor of Next.KZ, given that we haven't seen too many big team fights. It's been
maybe a big kill on bottom.
very static
That
farm
sheep.
centric, but oh, there it is. Sheepstick going to be used on Mirana. No way Mirana going to be able to survive this one. There's the ensnare to mitigate some of the effectiveness of that leap right there. And oh no, Equal going to venture his way too close, perhaps. No, Mirana did get off the Moonlight Shadow before she went down, so that will help keep the clockwork alive. But
That's
Empire,
a big pick right there.
yeah, going to be in a big position. No buyback on Mirana either. She's out of the game for 70 seconds here. This is huge.
I don't know. Invoker can pressure the T3 on bottom too, so it's like if they want to go for the T3, it's going to be a 1-for-1. If they're going to go for Rax, it's probably going to be a 1 Rax for 1 Rax trade too. So oh no, he's actually TPing back. And they're trying to defend versus this. I think he should have just gone for the T. Going for a 4v5 right now, especially with Song of the Siren. If he just walks up the hill with Song of the Siren initiates right now, they are just screwed.
Yeah. Empire maybe playing this a little bit more passively than they need to. As you mentioned, they just need that.
They have to go
knockdown.
next wave though, because
Yeah.
Prana's gonna be up by the time the next one comes.
Yeah. Oh, a big MP going to come out. Going to burn a little bit of damage here. They are going to press forward, looking for an opportunity. Not going to find it quite yet. Again, Naga does have a 4-staff, so that should make this initiation a little bit easier. But oh no, Equal just going to get obliterated. They don't even need the Naga sleep. The Visage going to fall shortly after as well. That Requiem of Souls going to do a lot of damage. It's now a 5v2 on the field. There is a glyph available for Next.KZ. Again, their buyback status not looking so good. They've got absolutely nothing other than the Invoker and the Alchemist, and of course they're the only 2 left alive. So this is going to be bad news bears. This tier 3 tower are going to fall in just a matter of seconds here, and I think these racks are going to fall shortly after. Mirana is going to be popping up here in just a second, and oh, a nice little combo onto Resolution. He's going to get ticked down to below half health, but Of course, he does have lifesteal for that sustain. Going to start hitting those creeps. All right, an arrow going to fly. It is going to connect with Mag on that Elder Titan. Still not going to have a lot of initiation power, but uh-oh, Silent going to go forward here. He has his sights set on Invoker. Of course, what a fucky. He is going to be able to survive. 4 staffs of plenty to keep him safe. Alchemist is going to fall. He's going to buy back right away. Empire have taken out the ranged racks. Melee racks now taking a lot of damage as well. They don't want to overcommit, though. They've got a lot of low health heroes, and oh, the Naga Siren going to get picked off as she tries to retreat. Mirana going to get that one last Desolator auto attack off. A long-range hook shot. Going to connect with Resolution. He's going to get 4-staffed right away. Not going to be stuck in the cogs. Call down going to come out as well. Moonlight Shadow going to make this a little bit more difficult for Empire to discern what Next.KZ are going to do. And they're going to keep pressing forward, still looking for an opportunity to grab some kills. But these 4-staffs from Empire, they're saving grace in this bit of initiation. Silent, maybe getting a bit hyper-aggressive. Going to get sheeped by Wadafaka. He's going to fall. That nuke from Amazing going to be just enough. Now Naga going to burn the ulti. A little bit late there, my friend, as he is just going to use it defensively for everyone to run away. Not the best use of that.
He needs to buy back
ulti
now, so they can do Roshan.
He's going to be in trouble as well. Arrow going to connect the ice wall. Down he goes. Naga going to fall. Next.KZ with a response here. Merlini, 2 going to be dead. What's the buyback state? There is 1 for the gyro. None for the... Naga already bought back, so he's going to be down for another 60 seconds. Tier 2 in the mid falls. Next.KZ actually with some momentum right here.
Yeah, Silent should not have gone back in. He didn't have his BKB up, or whether or not he could have used it. He just has to play really safe right now because he's like pretty much everything for Empire right now. He's their disable, he's their damage, he's their AoE, and yeah, he kind of has to do everything. And Fly going to get picked off. Wow, Next.KZ could potentially win it right now. Gyrocopter should have bought back way earlier. They're going to lose the Rax before he can even get there.
Yeah, exactly right. The tower falls. Rax now going to go down. Of course, the cliff has already been burned. Earth Splitter going to come out. Next.KZ going to play this smart, though. They're not going to overcommit. Now Reeves going to get caught. He's going to get sheeped. Resolution going to be able to blow him up with a couple of right clicks and a Requiem of Souls. Now Amazing could be in a little bit of trouble here. Going to try to move his way around the backside of the trees. But yeah, not going to be able to find the escape route he was looking for. Down he goes. A double kill coming out for Silent. So that buyback, well worth it. But that totally levels out this game. Melee Rack's still alive here on our Dire side. Melee Rack's still alive on our Radiant side. I completely agree with you. I don't. What was the hesitation from Silent? He had the gold.
I'm not really sure. Like, even if he doesn't buy back and they don't push a Rex, in next case he can just get the Aegis and cheese, and that's not worth him not buying back for.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, a bit of a misplay there, but uh-oh, it's not over yet. Resolution going to get initiated on. He's taking a lot of damage. We'll get 4-staffed back. It looks like Vanscore will sacrifice himself to keep his buddy, the Shadow Fiend, alive, but of course he does have to pay with his own life there. Another kill going the way of Next.KZ. Let's take a look at this gold graph. Things dipping all over the place, holding steady with a small advantage for Next.KZ of somewhere about 6,000 gold, something like that.
They might try and sneak a Roche.
Yeah. They may try and sneak around the backside here. Of course, as you mentioned, this is the 3rd Roshan, so this is a big one right here. And look at the net worth chart. All of a sudden, we see things starting to level out a little bit. Long-range arrow going to connect with that Gyrocopter, but Gyro only about 1,000 gold ahead of the Mirana now. Next.KZ have officially caught up, and Gyro
he gripped the Lincolns. Oh, no.
Ooh, is that a Lincoln's on the Invoker? Oh, wow, so he did go Lincoln's, not that Scotty as we were talking about. Interesting.
They need the Aegis on Gyrocopter because he doesn't have buyback, but he's actually kind of 6-slotted right now.
Yeah.
I guess he's going for maybe a Rapier last. It could be Rapier, could be an MKB. I think MKB is like, okay, they don't really have that much. They don't really have any evasion right now. I think he should just drop the Demon Edge, put it on the chicken, get the Aegis, and then fight. If they kill Gyrocopter right now, game is over if they don't get Potom or Invoker in return. And even if they do, Potom and Invoker both have buyback.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's what's really scary right here, that buyback difference. With Gyro's buyback on cooldown, if they can pick him off, it's going to be bad news bears. Mantis, though, they're putting that Lincoln's buff onto the Mirana, so she's even more difficult to take down. Does have that BKB, like we mentioned, still hitting like a truck. Empire, still all grouped up. They're just rotating around the lanes, trying to keep their base safe as they can. Again, the mid lane is a total wash, both sides with just the range racks down, melee racks still standing.
Mantis is soloing Roshan, though. This is going to be huge.
Uh-oh. If he can get it off, Empire looking ready to contest. Mantis going to be forced to leap out of the pit. Doing a ton of damage, though, with all that minus armor.
Oh, they know that
as well.
They know that Roshan's there. Or yeah. Roshan's at like half, so like...
Look at the ward coverage. Wow.
Yeah, they didn't have any vision inside of there, too, so he potentially could have sneaked it. Maybe, like, send 4 Spears in there or something to tank, and that would have been really big if they got that Aegis. And now Empire can just do it. They have Song of the Siren, they have BKBs, they shouldn't be scared at all.
Yeah. So let's see right here. There is a double damage rune on the field. It is going to be at that top mark. Visage trying to camp it out. could be a game changer here in this upcoming fight, depending on who grabs it.
They're like, oh man, Roshan's at half HP. They saw it with the observer ward over here. Roshan like wrapped around here.
Yeah.
They should just do it really fast and then defend tower. Wow, they're gonna give up the Roshan.
Wow.
They just need a TP back if they wanted to.
Yeah. Wow, that was sort of an odd play. They just ran all the way across the mid lane, and I mean, Next.KZ weren't even
it takes them
pressuring
like
that hard.
maybe 10 seconds to do Roshan. Like they just do so much damage right now and so much minus armor, and now Podham's gonna be able to solo it. So that's a really big mistake for Empire. I think they might have just given the game away with that.
Although Roche isn't dead quite yet, they are trying to line up for something. There comes the Elder Titan Spirit. Nope, not going to be enough. Wow, you're exactly right. Again, the Song of the Siren going to be late. They are going to catch Mantis. As soon as it's off, he's going to be able to leap away. Force Staff now on the clockwork and be able to keep him safe and sound. And look at that, Van score just going to get blown up. This is bad news bears for Team Empire. They had this game in the bag, if you ask me, and this is just not the way they saw it unfolding. Now this Mirana is out of control. We see Bane in big trouble. Moonlight Shadow going to be used, and Empire just in full retreat mode here. Arrow going to connect, but Mirana will get put into Nightmare. Sunstrike going to come out. I heard it, didn't see it. And yeah, Bane going to use the Fiend script. They may be able to grab themselves a kill on the Mirana. Indeed they do. Bane going to stay alive. Nicely played by Empire. And they're going to try to line it up to pick up another kill following that Aegis respawn. Not going to be enough. Now Mag going to be the one in a little bit of an issue. Oh no, going to walk right into the arrow. It's going to clip him. Down he goes. What a fucker, going to grab that last hit. What a fucker, trying to make the great escape here. Not going to be able to do it. Resolution going to get that last auto attack off. Now Mantis going to be the one in a little bit of trouble. Invoker going to buy back right away, but a 900 gold bounty going the way of Shadow Fiend there. Now Equal could be in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. Nope, going to be able to make it up.
Fly just got juked.
Yeah, mobility not going to be there. Poor little Bane. Wow, this game, man.
That was such a... I thought that was going to be just easy for Next.KZ. Just push with the Aegis, kill Gyrocopter when he doesn't have buyback, and then win the game. But nope, Next.KZ just going at it. And Invoker dying there is a really big deal, too. And now they're kind of on an even playing field because Invoker doesn't have buyback, Gyrocopter doesn't have buyback, Aegis is now gone. The only thing is there is still no Resolution actually used to cheese that last fight, too. So pretty much that third Roshan was negated, and that could have easily gone Empire's way. They just needed to take it. They were already there. Roshan was at half HP. It was just like, hey, please kill me. Get my free Aegis. And they're like, nope, I just want to just run around and not really do it.
Yeah, we're all full on Aegis right now. And Gyrocopter, unfortunately, not going to take heed to your advice and go for the Rapier. He did right-click an MKB. So the Gyrocopter is pretty much officially 6-slotted here at this point. Unless he wants to buy another BKB, it is down to 4 seconds, so that could be an option. Could always grab a Rapier if farm allows, but yeah, he's pretty much capped out at this point. We do see Elder Titan now grabbing a Shiva as kind of his first big item following the Force Staff and the Mech. That should help things out a little bit. And Shadow Fiend, where's he going to go next? He's got about 3,500 gold in the bank, sitting on the Satanic, Daedalus, Butterfly, and BKB. Any thoughts about his 6th item?
I mean, any item is just like as good as the next at this point. There's no item that's like, oh my gosh, you have to get this. Like he can get Manta, he can get MKB. They're all about the same.
I see.
Manta's better for like split pushing and like tanking arrows, dodging sheeps, getting owned by Cold Snap too. You could build another BKB. Oh, I'll go with the sheep. Sheep's not bad either. Yeah. I think they need like a blink sheep though. They don't really have like a clean initiation with the sheep though, which is a really big problem. And that's just really tells tales of like their support's not really doing that much too. Like if both your carries have to go sheeps, that means you have a grip on your team too. It just means that your Bane's not getting your grips off.
Yeah, probably reading in between the lines a little bit, but a bit more crowd control here on our dire side will give Empire, well, maybe a slight edge. The mobility items have really been the game changer, though. There are 5 Force Staffs on the field, 3 on the side of Empire, 2 on the side of Next.KZ, Clockwork, and Invoker, and those have really been the big items.
Invoker has MKB too. He is 6-stacked, or 6-loaded. I guess he could sell his Force Staff or something, but like, I mean, still, no item is going to let him carry versus these heroes, and like even pot him, like you try to man mode versus Shadow Fiend, it's just not happening.
Yep. We saw almost an initiation on the bottom right there. Now Equal could be in a little bit of trouble. They know that he was over here. He's just going to be able to make it to the side shop and can grab himself a
Reeves might die, though.
And head back to friendly territory. Yeah. I think Reeves will be okay for now. But now Mirana going to be able to right-click, what was that, a Butterfly. So the big items really coming out onto the field here, Merlini. Reeves, what are you doing? Oh no. Is there a fight down here as well? Now Mantis is going to be sort of a two-pronged attack coming out.
There's
two
none
supports.
of the carries are there, though.
Yeah, trying to go on Mantis. No damage to follow up. And now Reeves, he's just going to press forward here. He's being pursued by the Shadow Fiend, who is invisible. And there it is. Sheep, BKB going to be used. Resolution using that BKB. Maybe a pinch too early there while he was sheeped. And Reeves just going to kite
Mag
around.
and Vance will get picked off in the middle. Nice BOT from Invoker there.
Yeah, so there's sort of a 1v1 up in the top. This is going to be bad for Empire, though, with these two supports down. And
he hesitated too much with the Song of the Siren, too.
Always want to fly. Is going to be able to survive. Compliments of that Ghost Scepter. Requiem of the Soul is going to come out. Mantis going to take a lot of damage here. Clockwork is going to fall to the Wrath of Silent. Now Resolution going to be the one in some trouble, perhaps. He's not going to have that BKB on. Wasted it up in the top lane, playing with the Alchemist. Now Alchemist going to charge forward. He's going toe-to-toe with Silent. Silent trying to stand his ground. Not going to be enough damage to come out. What's the buyback scenario looking like? Not good for Team Empire. It is going to be burned right away by Gyrocopter, but it's just him and the Bane up against the 4 members of Next.KZ. Everyone except the Clockwork. They're going to hop forward. They're going to obliterate the Bane before the fight even starts. Mid lane of melee racks are going to fall. Gem on the ground. Nobody even wants it. Everyone's 6-slotted here. They're just going to go straight for the throne. First tier 4 tower falls. Second
they have a
tier
sleep
4.
with BKB. That's pretty much the last thing they can do right now. They have a glyph, so glyph, sleep, and go for it.
Yeah, YOLO at this point. Not much else you can do. There it is. Song of the Siren. Elder Titan, Earth Splitter, call down, in comes Silent.
They're going for the throne, though.
Gonna be able to do some damage to the Visage. Throne taking a lot of damage. Are they gonna have enough? Nope, that Mirana just hitting too hard. Oh god, my game lagged out here as they do finish off the throne. Uh-oh, warning, connection problem.
Wow, Empire just totally threw that game away, though. They, like, oh my goodness. Not taking the Aegis right there. Silent using his, getting caught out there, like, in maybe, like, 10 minutes ago, and using buyback, and just a lot of small errors here and there adding up. Very nice play by Next.KZ, though. Being able to outcarry that team with that sort of lineup is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, guys, that was game 2 of the day. We've got plenty more coming your way.